Okay, so we'll just get started. Welcome to the webinar. So for anyone that isn't familiar with Ion, we are a Salesforce Silver partner based in Gosforth, Newcastle. We'll be running a series of webinars over the next few weeks, so hopefully you'll pick up a few useful reporting methods if you're not already using them. So with more and more people working from home, management need easy ways of tracking how their team is getting on. Today, I'm going to show you two reports. One is a really easy and straightforward report that you can build to show you the last time someone spoke to you in an account. But first, we'll have a look at a value filter report on opportunities to help you see where your team should be focusing their attention. So I'm just going to highlight here that I'm using a Salesforce free trial org to demo this in. So that comes complete with test data. If you don't have permissions to create a report in your org or you don't yet have Salesforce, a free trial org is a great place to start exploring. So the first report we'll create is opportunities worth more than £25,000. So just click into reports from wherever you're at in Salesforce, it's just here, and we'll click new report. We're going to use an opportunities report, but I'll just point out here, reports in Salesforce are actually really easy because they use a wizard that'll help walk us through the process. So this starts from the moment that you click new report. So here our wizard is asking us what type of report that we'd like to create. So when we choose a report type, we're just choosing the data that the report should be based on. So if we want to report on accounts, we would use accounts. There's various options of linked data there as well. But for now, we just want to create an opportunities report. So we just click continue. So a little bit of housekeeping again, for if you're not familiar, I'll just run you through the anatomy of a report really quickly. So this is the outline pane here. So it makes adding, removing and arranging columns much easier. So it's just drag and drop. You can also add bucket columns and summary formula columns. They would be available here if they were available. And I'll just show you filters. So in this pane, it allows you to set view, time frame and custom filters to limit the data shown in a report. And now we've got, this is the preview pane here. So it's a dynamic preview that makes it easy for you to customize your report. So it's sort of like a spreadsheet, but you can add, reorder and remove columns, summary fields, formulas, groupings and blocks. So the preview shows only a limited number of records. So if something doesn't look quite right, just make sure you run the report and you'll be able to see all of your results. So we're just going to clear all of these fields here, just so that we're starting fresh. And we'll add in account name, opportunity name, opportunity owner. Remember, you can have a different opportunity owner to account owner, and then amount, close date, and stage. And so now we'll just go through to our filters pane. So I'm actually the only user in this org because it's a test org, so all the opportunities belong to me. If I was in a real one, chances are they'd be spread out over a few more people. I'll just go into close date here. So we already have a close date filter. I would normally change the range in this to something like this month, and we would see all the opportunities for April, but because there's limited data in here, I'm just going to change it to all time. And we only want to see opportunities with the status of open. We don't want to see any closed. So then to add our amount filter, we'll just type amount into the search bar, and then we'll select greater than, and we'll just type in 25,000. And we will now run the report. So now we can see accounts with opportunities that are due to close with a value of more than 25,000. Again, it's not a very big report because this is a trial org, but it gives you an idea of how value filters work. So if I just click back into edit and back into filters and I remove my amount filter, you can see the accounts that didn't match the filter criteria return. So just add that back in. And if you want to export your data, you would just leave it as it is. So you can export it as a CSV and upload it into different platforms if you need to. But if you're doing this, the data needs to be simple. So don't group any rows or columns at this stage. I'll just show you quickly how to export. Just save that first. So this is opportunities. Yeah, you can see from all the practices I've done, that name already comes up. I'll just save that. And then save and run. We can just click export here. So it gives us a couple of options. If you select formatted, you'll get quite a nice looking spreadsheet. So there's one here that I made earlier. So it gives you all the information such as how you filtered it as well. But if you need it as a CSV, you would go details only, and there's your CSV available there. I obviously don't need either, so I'm just going to close that. So I think we'll edit this to make the data a little bit more digestible. So this is where we can start grouping by fields. So I'll group it by stage. So I'll group rows by this field, and I then will sort these ascending by the close date. So we could at this point add a chart. So obviously we can see them grouped together by their stage, but sometimes it's easier to have a bit of a visual on it. So we'll just add a chart here. Dead easy. And then if we want to change the chart type, everyone seems to really like a donut chart. So if you look there, you can see we've got a lot of work in the qualification stage. So that would suggest there's quite a bit of work to do. So we'll just save this again. And it's worth bearing in mind here, if you'd like people to see your report, make sure you save it in an appropriate place. So like a public folder. So you would just go to your properties to change this. So select folder, we'll go public reports. And that means if there were other people in your org, they had access to a certain folder, then they would be able to see it. So we'll just save these and move on to our last activity on an account report. So we'll go reports, new report. So this second one is a little bit trickier to show you in a demo org, as we don't have Einstein activity capture set up, and also there's not a lot of data in this, but we have workarounds, so not to worry. I'll just briefly touch on what Einstein activity capture does and why you should have it turned on if you aren't already using it. So Einstein activity capture is a great tool. You connect it to your email inbox and it sucks information out of there and pops it onto the appropriate record on Salesforce. So it means that important information isn't hidden away in someone's inbox. It's visible to other team members and management. Obviously, different permission settings. You could, if you didn't want people to see the contents of your email, say you're working with sensitive information, you could just show that an email has been sent. But as with most things in Salesforce, it's configurable. So to start with our last activity report, we'll create an accounts report. And as we did before, we'll just remove all these columns. We're just starting fresh. So we'll add in account name, account owner, and last activity. So we shall go to filters, and for now I want to see all accounts, even though it's just me. With a create date of all time. So by the way, in this date field, there's a lot of options. You can group it by things like the year, the financial year, quarter, month, previous month. There's loads of options, and you can also set it as custom as well. But all time is what we want for now. So we'll run this. Again, there's not a lot of data in my trial org, but I can say that some accounts haven't been contacted in a long time. So I'll sort the last activity date ascending. So we can see the accounts that need spoken to pretty quickly. So there's one December last year. Don't worry that some of these dates say 2021, by the way. I think this test data in here just has a very long expiry date. So I'm just going to show you how this would look if you had Einstein activity capture set up like we do at Ion. So this is a screenshot from our Salesforce org. So I've blanked out the account names and revenues. But if you're recreating this in your org and you have Einstein activity capture set up, you would use last activity date and the inactive days field. So there you go. You can see some of them I'm quite on top of, and some of them not so much. They haven't had contact in a little while, so that might be a job for me this afternoon. So we'll just go back to our report then. So if you had Einstein activity capture set up, it would use information like the last time you sent an email, or then the last time you logged a call, but you'd obviously be logging the calls yourself. Einstein activity capture is a lifesaver, I would say. So we'll just go, we'll save this. We'll call this clients last contacted. And it's a good habit to save them in a public folder unless it's information that only you want to see. And while we're here, I'm just going to subscribe us to this report. So I think this report should deliver weekly on a Monday, so that we can start the week right and make sure we're staying in touch with our accounts. So we'll set it for 8 a.m. on a Monday, and we can save that there. And that is our 2 reports created. So I hope you have enjoyed this. We've gone through how to see when an account was last contacted and also open opportunities worth more than £25,000. We'd love to hear any feedback from the session, any requests for what you'd like to see in the next one, and of course there will be a recording available of this over the next couple of days if you found it useful. If these turn out to be popular, we might run a competition, so please spread the word. But that is all from me. Thank you very much for attending. Stay safe, and I shall hopefully catch you again soon. Thanks.